We are in St. Charles, right outside of St. Louis, going to the Burromax factory.
Made it all the way to the great state of Missouri, huh?
Yes, we did.
Got in late.
We can? Nice to meet you.
You too.
Elmer, nice to meet you.
Come on in, guys.
Awesome.
Nice helmet.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
That swing arm, that thing laying in the ground right there. We just weighed one of these. It was 12 pounds. 12 pounds frame and swing arm.
Frame and swing arm.
Yeah, that's what it weighed without the shock. That's it.
That is impressive.
Dude, that thing's light. I mean, when you pick one of these frames up, you're going to be like, oh my God.
What type of aluminum?
Heard of 6061.
Oh, that's what I'm about to ask,
Okay.
yeah.
It comes in a annealed state so you can bend it and not ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
You weld it, you run it through an oven, you heat treat it, you straighten it, you go through all the things you go through on it, and then we did some pretty cool testing on it where we put an axle in the back of it here, and we put a vibrator on the front of it that basically shook the shit out of it for like 200,000 cycles and tried to break it. So we did a little bit of testing on this.
Monitor for potential cracking points.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's not a common thing to do, but trust me, if you're going to tool an aluminum frame and you're going to sell it to a lot of people, you want to know that it's not going to break when it weighs 12 pounds.
So I didn't realize that there's compatibility between the 1600 and the XRA.
So I wanted to make some bikes for kids to learn how to race on primarily. This was our dirt track racer, that was our drag racer, right?
Yeah.
And I could not bring myself to not having a total crossover and something I felt like it was good for the masses. Everything on these bikes interchange. There's a lot of options you can build, and this one is, we geared it low. It runs maybe 42 miles an hour, but it'll pull it.
It's got the torque
It'll
for...
pull a house down, and you've got these tires out in the dirt. You can drag a deer out of the woods. So
Okay.
XRs are aluminum.
Okay.
HRs are steel.
I see,
But
I
they
see.
both run the 120 millimeter motor. They both run the volt controllers. We'll run it at 100 amps max and a 52 volt 30 amp hour battery, because really the guy who buys this wants range. He really doesn't want, and that's the biggest battery we have for that box. Most of the people, again, they buy these, after they ride one of them, those are nicer, there's no doubt, but they're kind of spooky for some guys. These things are, we don't set these up gingerly. We got these little 350s you can ride. The kids, little lithium battery, 17, 18 mile an hour lithium battery bikes. You can bump up to our little 750s, which run like 25, 30. But they weigh 50 pounds.
That little thing?
You'll love that. One of our most popular bikes because...
And I thought my razor was small.
No,
that's tiny.
This, dude. It's this. It's they
lightweight.
don't weigh anything. It's just the weight in general.
Dude.
This year we just put a brushless motor in, hydraulic brakes. And, that motor, we just did a dyno test with it, and it's 1.5 kilowatts, 1.6.
See, that's what I like about this place, is they're truly testing their stuff,
It's absolutely true.
Dyno test? Like, how many bike companies are doing dyno testing?
I'll show you. Yeah, we do try to do that. This bike is actually almost shares a lot of components with my 1600.
So this has a taller seat.
Yeah, much taller, and it's much more cushy and comfy. And
Oh, but the riding position
it's way
is adult friendly.
Absolutely, for that very reason. And because a lot of those guys want fancy stuff, we just took it and put all our accessories on it and called it our TT Max. Long swing arm, 60 amp controller, 35, 40 mile an hour bike. It's a pretty fast little bike. This still is our most popular bike today, the 16. And it's just a little bit bigger. I think you guys have seen our lighting, our side lighting before, right?
Oh,
Cool.
Hang on a minute.
that's great. Wow.
And these are 750s, 250s, the bike that we started with, actually. Many years ago, that bike right there that we sold through stores, and they're upgradable. You can put a 500 watt motor in them, you can put a lithium battery in them. You can put our 750 watt whole brushless kit on that bike if you want. That's our small bike, so depending on who you are when you walk in our door here.
But your small
we
bikes.
We send you in this room,
Yeah.
or we send you in that room. This is my brother Bill.
Guys.
Elmer, nice to meet you.
Elmer.
Patrick.
Patrick, nice
Sir.
to meet you, Patrick.
But this is where that controller started. Yeah, don't get me started. That's where it started at when we found this controller, and I mounted it on our old 750. So we went ahead and tooled this bike. That's a stock XRA right out of the box. That's what it looks like when you get it. Low bars, forward swept risers, or short risers.
Big.
That is a big bike.
I think this is pretty close to what I usually ride nowadays. It's like about the size.
10.5 is what 10.5 kW is what we send these out the door at. which
All
is
right.
basically 125 amps and
Yeah.
84 volts. If we send one down the drag strip, we go ahead, and that's spinning it at 9,500 RPMs. And the reason that's important to know is because the entire curve goes up. When you up the RPM, all the curve starts at a lower point. And when I tell you ours have a lot of pickup, it's because of the way we tune them. That puts these bikes with 10-inch wheels, Supermotos, that puts them at about 65 mile an hour and an eighth mile. That's what they run at.
That's amazing.
These are some of the very first bikes we ever built these are 10 years old now. That's our first 1600 proto that we were doing. All the plastics we still have. This is our museum. We're about 15,000 feet here. We've got 10 in the warehouse, 5 here. This is where we do a little bit of testing. This is our little dyno room.
Dude.
This is a portable guy too. You know, we're going to buy another one of these actually, but they're good up to about 20 kW.
Let me know if you want to sell that one.
This is a bi-directional power supply. I can provide a battery source or discharge batteries up to 25 kW. It's kind of cool. It puts it right back in a grid too. So we validate breakers, we validate batteries. The other thing we do here is with the flux weakening, so we'll set up a controller, and using the app, the phase angle of the motors, really, we're curious. If we know the motors are going to be severely used and get hot, we Loctite them and pin them to keep the stator from rotating in them, and that happens all the time. So if you had a motor that sounded good and then started screaming later on, probably moved. So let's wander out in the warehouse a minute.
Sure.
Same, again, we just come in here and we'll put together bikes. Out here, a couple of our drag bikes here ready to go to the racetrack. Wheel bars on, they've already been there. This is one of our DIY TT Maxes, and what do we call it? Mad Max. We call this Mad. Clint crashed it the other day. 70 mile an hour thing, that's a ridiculous thing. This is our HRH, if you want to go drag a deer out of the woods, we have all those components right. Sit on that if you want to find comfort.
Yeah, I could have used one of these at our property and to haul stuff around, like with chainsaw, and
Oh yeah.
that's pretty plush.
Dude, you're gonna love that bike. XRs are these, we put some of our body kits on them. This is what we're riding. Billy's putting mirrors on them just because he felt like we needed mirrors today.
It's probably a good idea. I didn't realize you guys offer different plastics and whatnot.
We do, yeah. So I've got 4 colors of camo, 3 carbon fiber, and I got OD green. But here's our front section.
Wow. That's
Light?
That's crazy. And you guys sell these individual parts on your website.
We do.
So if I wanted to build from scratch, I have the option to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. My DIY, I'm making my DIY section a little bigger.
With this weight, this really gives you a good starting point. That's a frame, dude.
Yeah.
What's the load capacity on these?
Well, again, we've tested it with 250 pounds, which I forget how many kg it was, here, and then we loaded this with about a 50-pound load, and then we captured it at the rear axle, and we put a stem in it that went into basically a giant oscillating machine, and it made about a 2-inch stroke. It sat out there, and we shook this thing for 180,000 cycles, and we just looked for any stress in it and didn't find any, so we were pretty happy with the heat treatment. Same size battery that except we use 125 amp plugs on them.
These will fit on an RSF for
Yeah,
any of the razors. 72 volt, 20 amp hour,
that's what those are. Yep.
100 amp.
Samsung celled.
Okay.
21700s, 5C cells. Now these are square wave controllers. That little guy will put out, God, I've got, man, well over 150 amps out of those things reliably.
You don't have to own a Burromax to
No,
go.
not to play in our catalog. No.
No. You guys got a lot of good DIY stuff for
We did.
the razor scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burromax branded tires.
We did.
Like a dual
Works
sport.
good on, yeah.
Yeah.
You get hard packed dirt or whatever, they're a blast. And that tire is very lightweight at the end of the day, and it's rated for about 65 miles an hour.
Hey, 90-90-10. You can use this for your RSF.
I was just
probably.
thinking that. Like, I wonder if these would fit on my bike.
We have the Supermoto tire. These are damn near run flats here. They got a very hard sidewall on them. Those things we use them at the drag strip. We take them down to about 5 psi, and next thing you know, it's laying it down. It pulls the motor down as hard as it will.
Oh man, Now we're gonna do another brand new build.
We're gonna do
Super excited to test this thing out. This is the XRA. You say this is set up right now for
the drag strip. She's stripped down, naked framed. You know, we just left a singular body piece on it. We left this piece on it so we could put the kill switch in it, and the rear fender, the inner fender on it, and you see we wire tied the tail light on. But this is all pretty much the way we strip them down when we go to the racetrack.
and as is, it'll go over 60.
The bike will go over 60, yeah.
So this is the XRB.
A little bit shorter, made for the dirt track. You get this thing out on a micro sprint track or a quarter midget track, and you can have an absolute blast. That's why I raised the bar up a little. So you've never done this ever, right? So the one thing about a bike this small, I would say that's very important is that if you're going to race it, you got to sit the same way every time. Because where you sit, how much you lean forward, all that has a great deal of effect on how that bike's going to hook and launch. I want you to roll that hand up and get in a place where when you hit it all the way, you're going to be just about steady on the bike. And I want you to hold it too tight, but you got to hold it tight enough. Make sure you're sitting square, and all you got to do is stick it. Just stick it fast as you can, and it will bring it back up on the bar and send you down.
That is something. I gotta get me one of these.
With or without the drag bar?
With the drag bar.
Really? Oh, he gone.
Man, I gotta get used to that torque. Well, it's definitely got the juice. All right, switching up gears a little bit, hopping on the HRS, more comfortable bike to ride. This is a 52 volt, 30 amp hour battery rather than a 7220. So the HR series comes in two configurations. This is the HRS with the Supermoto wheel set. They also have the HRH, which is more of the hunting bike with the optional racks for the front and the rear. Throttle's very smooth. First thing you notice that's a difference is the riding position. Handlebar height's very high. So far from being cramped, like look at how far my hands are from the top of my knees. Man, it's such a beautiful day out here in St. Louis. I think it's like 74 degrees. This thing just rides so smooth. It's like the perfect city cruiser. This is actually my first time riding around here in St. Louis. Such a beautiful area. My wife actually went to college out here in Wash U. Dude, I love the camo colors.
This one?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, that too. This is how the bike comes configured from the factory. What's this labeled as? A matte black, matte carbon?
Fiber.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, Bill. You can do it if you have to.
I really like the white carbon too.
He was just feeling like he wasn't getting enough attention, and that's what he does. We got a Moto Museum down here. I don't think it's open today.
I'm sorry, you said Moto Museum?
Yeah, it's got a bunch of weird old motorcycles.
Cool.
Very cool.
If you're looking for a city cruiser, the HRS, it's definitely got what you're looking for. Wouldn't necessarily recommend the XRA for street situations, especially not with a drag bar, but that I gotta get me one of those. Yo, check this out. Moto Museum.
That's a pretty good space. Check this one.
best moto weekend.
Scott Flying Squirrel. I love the name of it. Look at that cylinder. Reminiscent of a two-stroke today.
The craftsmanship.
Oh, dude, the castings are great. Everything's cool about them. That's why I love this museum, because you see stuff in here you will never, I promise you will never see it again. The Moto Museum, you guys have been here. Well, thanks for taking
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime you want. This, you will never see another one. I mean, can you believe some guy woke up in the morning and said, honey, I've got an idea. I'm going to build this thing. In 1927.
Dude, what a cool spot. If you're in St. Louis, make sure you check out the Moto Museum. Can we trade bikes? Because I want to get on the camo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of undecided with what I want. I usually go with the fastest bike a manufacturer makes just because I find that exciting, but this is just so comfortable that I might get myself an HRS instead. So we're gonna hop on this after the break. This is a 72 volt version essentially of that.
That bike is actually faster than an XRA right out of the box.
Really?
Yeah.
It's geared, yeah.
And when it's geared correctly, yes.
It's a beast.
That's a very, very fast, short
Put her in one
wheelbase
and
bike.
you'll,
So,
Don't loop it.
yeah. If you flick it at 20, it will pick it right up.
Nice. I love the white carbon pattern on this though. Oh, I believe that is optional. All these bikes come in that matte carbon. Yo, this thing is fast. Man, each time that I hop on a different bike, I keep changing my mind on what I want. So this is how you switch modes on all of these bikes. You just press this button, 1, 2, and 3, to toggle through the slowest and the fastest setting. On the left side, you got the horn, and you got the headlight switch. And the speedometer is built into the display on the throttle. The arch.
That's the oldest Catholic church west of the Mississippi.
What does this one peak out at?
Ken will have to tell you for sure, but around 12,
Around 12K.
11 something. He does all the dyno
Which is
stuff.
insane for a stock bike. Yo, this thing is so fast. I gotta chill out though because we do have a very long ride today and I should probably save a little bit of battery life. Tower Grove Park. Really nice houses.
How you looking on battery?
I have 73.9 volts. That's pretty good. We've been riding a lot today. That is one thing that differentiates Burromax from all the other manufacturers is how they rate the top speed on their bikes, and the range is super accurate. I always find it interesting that you'll see some bike listings say, hey, this thing's got 50, 60 miles of range, but it's only a 23 amp hour, 48 volt battery. While Burromax, who has a 72 volt, 20 amp hour, only claims 20 to 30 miles of range per charge. You can probably get a lot more if you just put it around, you know, going 20 miles per hour on mode 1. They've got an in-house dynamometer to test their products. These bikes perform exactly how Burromax said they would. Their company is like the perfect example of under-promise and over-deliver. Instead of telling you, hey, this bike can do 50 miles and it actually does 15, when they say these bikes can do 30 miles per charge, they really can without you being too easy on the throttle. And the founders, Kenny and Bill, have quite a bit of motorsports background, from dirt track riding and drag racing. I really like how this one looks. So I can just put this plastic set on the XRA. Nice. Drag race camo would be like a weird look, but I like it. You know, even the 52 volt bikes have quite a bit of juice. And these might make the most sense if you are looking for a bike to fight around the city though, just because they have the most range. This has a 30 amp hour battery. Yeah, this HRS is noticeably more comfortable than the other bikes, just because of the upright riding position. And the handlebar height is a little higher by an inch in comparison to the XRB. Swing arm is also a little bit longer, so it tends to ride a little bit more plush than the shorter swing arm bikes. This is like the Cadillac of the lineup. Oh, that is the most perfect example of a Nissan Altima. Check this thing out. Thing's like total. Yo, the 52 volt bikes have a lot more juice than I thought. Look at that. Goes well into the 40s for a 52 volt bike. Going uphill. Look at that. Completely stock 52 volt bike. 46 miles per hour. That is impressive. And I really like the power delivery. The throttle's really smooth throughout the whole power band. I believe these are using the Voltal controllers. 46 miles per hour with a 52 volt system. I think it's very good. Well, it has no trouble going mid 40s uphill.
Yeah, and we don't overgear them, and we try to keep that number correct.
I see.
Because they don't use as much battery when it's running.
Right, right. It's like low effort acceleration. Yeah. What I really like about Burromax is they put a lot of thought into the parts that they use and how they gear their bikes, depending on the use case scenario that the bike is designed for. And that is a nice color Land Cruiser. If I were to replace our GX with another SUV, it would probably be one of those. Don't know how I feel about 4 cylinders though. Bill's got me beat, but obviously he's on a 72 volt bike. Almost slamming the back of Kenny over there.
You know how much we did today?
Distance-wise, I'm not sure, but I know that I had it mapped at 18, almost 20, and that's why I was worried about these. Things should run closer to almost 30, 20, high 20s. 30.
Really good range on all these bikes.
Today, and this one, I don't even know how far it'll go, but it'll go long.
I like how the taillight just curves in the fender like that. Looks really clean. Do all of your bikes come with these taillights?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. So that's another thing that comes stock on these bikes that you don't see on the electric dirt bikes. So if you're street riding, there are a lot of advantages with going with Burromax. If you guys want to get more information on Burromax bikes, I'll have a link to their website in the description below. But if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, want to keep up with some of my mini bike projects and reviews, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn your bell notification on. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.